Hi there, Mark Verheer here. And in yesterday's video we actually we started over here. This is actually the world map, a dynamic world map. We started here over here in the Trafford Center, and then we let ourselves be transported to this spot in the world, which is Erin's transport hub. I may be able to get a 3D view from that. Yeah, so here you have the transport hub. And our spawn point actually is over here. Let me see. I mean, the world has grown very large. Yeah, but this is actually the spawn point where we are, where we originated. So this actually is one of the first buildings we built. Perhaps this one, this small one. And we've been building ever since 2010, and this is the Apple sign that we put up in remembrance of Steve Jobs. This pyramid the wife built, and these are actually this is actually a representation of all the avatars that were in there. This is mine. This is Elise. This is Andy's. Electric Adventures, I think, was this one. Dave Webster, and I'm not sure about the others. This is Costardo, but yeah. So we have this map plugin on the server where you can actually dynamically show you in 3D what our world is like. Actually, we did do a representation of our own home over here. This is actually the real Lactobacillus home recreated in Minecraft. Actually, the wife did that. And this is actually a birthday cake for someone. There's some pretty cool stuff in here. For example, this cat was created by Dave Webster. I'm not sure if you can. I don't think it's possible to quickly change the orientation, I believe. I may be mistaken, but yeah, he actually did do a Quake sign over here, and he remade the first Doom level inside of this place. So if you enter it, you actually are able to walk around Doom, a level of Doom, the first level, which is quite cool. And there's actually a video on that up in the Minecraft playlist, so you should check that out. What else? Well, after we've established spawn, these buildings were created a lot later, but we actually wanted to cross this big body of water, and we actually dug a tunnel underneath, coming up way too early with all sorts of water rushing in. Mark and me, we did that, and it was actually quite fun. And then we dug a huge tunnel underneath here, and 8-bit Valley was created. And this ship, actually, this sailing boat, was actually one of the first ships that one of the first 3D objects outside of a house that I did. We built a tower, and then Retro Gamer VX came on, and he actually built subaquatic structures. He built an Atari temple underneath with an Atari joystick, an Atari structure over here. He also did this, and I believe the Space Invader also was his work. He did this huge pyramid. It's still floating in the air. Perhaps it should be finished, not sure, but yeah, cool stuff. Pixel art, we started to do some pixel art. This is a very nice mansion that Erwin did, Costardo, and this actually was my first inclination that he was going to be making great things, and of course he did, because he built this Valkyr critter. I did these video pack Odyssey 2 things. Mark did this, I believe. This is the a Spectrum game, what is it, Jetpack, and this is the, oh, you can't see, but this is the back side of a Sinclair Spectrum, and he did a very nice small Korg synth, but yeah, And I started to build, as a form of relaxation, I started to build walls. I was given all sorts of brick. Actually, I did do this. I did build this, a wall with, which looks like a castle. And well, there was new ground, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm just gonna make a huge wall to see if I can enclose a bit of ground and see what happens. So I was building this wall, and there's actually train tracks all around it, so you can go for a ride. And going on one of these train track trips actually is quite a lengthy experience. It goes all the way around here. So yeah, huge. This is Lactose Wall, and yeah, at some point I stopped. I was actually going to enclose this as well, but decided not to. So this is a bit of a history of Minecraft, I guess, a history of our world. Yeah, I built this temple. I built several of these. These are pagoda-like temples, and this is actually one of the stations, the train stations, that we made, because what also was done was we created a transport system, because the world, yeah, became pretty huge and it was very difficult just walking around and traveling there. And what we opted for was actually train stations in the form of themes. So this actually is also a train station, but it was themed after the boat. So a little boat was created. This is one of the train stations that really wasn't themed, 8-Bit Valley. Some were, yeah, this is a power plant, and this is actually the word lacto that is floating in the air, but this is actually a power plant with smoke. The giraffe clock, I mean, a few years back, the giraffe clock was really a big thing in YouTube, and well, I think Elise did this. I'm not sure, but yeah, the giraffe clock was built. Very nice bridge over here, and yeah, this is one of the huge things. This is actually Cow Cafe, a big cow that was created, and actually it is a cafe, and you can get some prime beef over there. Ads for the Cow Cafe appeared on all sorts of towns and stuff, and everything that we did. So yeah, that was actually quite fun, and at the same time we were chatting and having a lot of fun. This is actually one of the first train stations that had a way of a circular motion that you could reverse. I'm not sure how to say it, but yeah. And these things popped up in a later moment where we what I actually showed in a previous video, the transport hub, because the world grew so large that it actually became impossible to just travel around by train, because if you do hop on a train, or if you do fly or whatever, it can take you up to an hour to travel from one place to another. So you really have traffic issues within Minecraft actually. But yeah, let's zoom out a bit. These sprites were done by Mark Rawson. This whale was done by Elise. I think this was pre-creative, so everything was done making scaffolding and stuff. Yeah, and of course I did expand my wall a bit. So there's a second bit of the wall that enclosed this bit of water. And what also was created was this, a walkway, a nice bridge. This is actually a bridge that has the Michael Jackson type lit up tiles. If you walk over this bridge, the tiles light up. There's some nice tech going on in there, and only the place where you walk, the tiles light up. So, and you get to this little town, which has a nice market, and actually I forgot what it was called, but everything has names and everything is tagged, and yeah, towers were built. Of course, I was building walls again to close it off with, of course, one of these temples. A nice wall with yeah, it's actually a grate for boats to go through. I believe this area was actually quite infested with wolves. There still are quite a few wolves running around this. But yeah, I built towers and walls and yeah, I think that 3D rendering kind of stops over here. But yeah, walls were created. What also was done was we incorporated all these little towns with walkways, road signs and stuff. And I remember going up here, I also built a structure over here. Yeah, so and on one of her tracks, actually this is also one of the first things that Elise did. If we go back to spawn, you remember, yeah, imagine, I mean, when you've played Minecraft, the world is barren. So when we did this, when we went to 8-Bit Valley, Elise actually went off on a track, and she put some blocks up, and she was going on a track, and she actually wandered around, and she made she left a trail for herself, and then she wandered around, and then she actually created this, and this is the City of Gold. And there's a temple inside. So this actually we were busy way over here with 8-Bit Valley, and Elise was doing her City of Gold, chatting and stuff. We didn't know where she was, and yeah, she turned up. Eventually she did this all by herself. What Elise also did was this crazy. She extended some trees, and she made these tree houses with interconnected walkways and stuff, and there's also a glass walkway and a fountain going down that was later added. But what Elise also did was she didn't stop there, because she also created the hanging gardens, which and these eggs, and an impaled egg with purple ooze squirting from that. That's also something that Elise did. I did Stonehenge. So you can actually walk around pretty much a life-size version of Stonehenge. There is the encased, there's the glass encased tree, and the big smiley, the big Microsoft MSN smiley, and then there's, I build a lot of these ducks, and then there's the hanging garden somewhere. Oh, they're here. Yeah. This is also something that Elise did. She built platforms and planted seedlings of trees, and then trees grew. And actually, after one of those updates that allowed trees to grow even bigger, some of the trees have grown pretty big, even after they've been created. But yeah, due to successive updates in the world, the world keeps evolving. But they also build an upside-down house somewhere. Here, that's something what they did. They build a house, but it is completely upside down. Another pyramid with a lot of stuff growing from it. Tintin's rocket, that's something that Elise did. A resort with hieroglyphs and a very nice beach resort. Another temple. I think Andy did this. I created my temples after this, being inspired by this. This is actually an apartment building that we did, and everybody has as a floor, and it's decorated according to their own likings and stuff. This boat is actually something that Costardo did. There's even a swimming pool on top. I've never seen that. Did he enhance that? I'm not sure, but there's actually a working engine inside. This mansion is also something that Erwin did with a very nice garden. This little town is something that Andy did with a McDonald's and a Tesco and a train station and a creeper head. I think somewhere around here I did a this is my King Kong, Donkey Kong sprite, huge sprite. This is an animal, a piggery with a huge pig, and this is Cow Cafe, the one that didn't work, so it's a bit emaciated. There's some ducks over here. Oh, this Custardo. There's a huge underground complex with a lot of cows. It's the underground farm, the subterranean farm. There's a lot of cows in there, and well, it was actually created before you could breed cows, so he had to lure cows into this farm with a very elaborate system of fences and stuff. So that's actually before you could lure cows into following you by giving them food and stuff. That's actually prior to that. So some of these are actually huge achievements back in the early days of Minecraft, and probably a lot less how do you say it, spectacular if you see what is available now. Actually, this castle I did, there's a tree that I built with bark and with branches and stuff. Underneath is a cellar complex, and it's pretty huge. There's a dragon underneath here. There's also a dragon or a snake that is supposed to be here. It's a 3D dragon I did. That bee is also something that we did. So yeah, quite an elaborate an elaborate bit of building that we did. Yeah, I showed you prior. This is actually the transport hub that Erwin did. He also built a Gothic Cathedral, and the cool thing is, if you go into it, it really feels like a Gothic cathedral. There's clips on that. There's movies on that I did. So it's fun to check those out. The light coming through the windows and stuff, it really is cool. Especially if you do it with one of those fancy shader mods. It really allows you to visit a castle. It turns into a real place. Well, of course, the world was hugely expanded. But let's go back to Spawn and show you a 2D version of this world, and see how it expands. So we move to this. So basically, where we're looking at the same bit, and I'll zoom out and I'll show you how big our world is. And this Minecraft world has been growing for a long time. So let's move up. So this is the top border of our world, and there are structures that are on these borders. For example, I think this is Birthday Island. Yeah, this is an island that we did with a fish and a happy birthday thing. I believe it was for my wife. Actually, there's a cow's head that's not very visible. There's a squirting udder. I think, yeah, this is a spot where Polyventrus actually did a lot of Commodore Sprite artwork. He did have to make some sort of cellar thing inside, excavating down into the ocean, because there's this elite graphics sign that he wanted to make, but the height of the world was still limited. I mean, they actually expanded the height of the Minecraft world twice, I believe, and in the modern day Minecraft world it would fit, but he had to lower it down to the bedrock because he had too little building blocks to put on top of each other. But there's structures all dotted all around. Yeah, this is this L-shaped thing that was something that someone explored, but there's yeah, these dots, these actually indicated the edge of the world for a bit. Let's move back to Spawn. This is the Spawn area, Retro Hill, and let's move down. It just goes on and on, doesn't it? Yeah. Now inside here, there's still a lot to be explored. I mean, someone walked here, because this map only shows you the areas that have been explored in some ways. But yeah, you can see there's a huge diversity in the world. And what you also see is that this world, the structure of well, the water and the way the trees grow and stuff, and the hills and stuff, the biomes, is quite different. And you can see that we went on a track. Elise actually went on a track, and she just walked west for quite a long time. And in that track, during that track, quite a bit of the world was generated. But what you can see is that afterwards, the world was updated, and the generating code of the world was actually altered. So where in the early world this actually generated a lot of landmass and stuff, suddenly a lot of ocean was being created, and in some areas actually artificial lines were created, but because we had to update the world. So the seed is the same, but the way it expands is different. And what's quite funny is I have a backup of one of the world when it was still in its infancy, just when we were where's spawn? Very close to spawn. And if you just let it generate and look around, this is the spawn area, and do the same things that you did 6 years ago, actually, because the world generation procedures are different. You sort of recognize the areas, but different stuff grows in places. Of course, bits of the world that have been generated, they don't change, they don't alter that much. This is also a track north that we did, and you can see that bits of the world were, well, there was more land than ocean back then. We did have a lot of water, which was more than most other Minecraft worlds. And afterwards we did have quite a few big lakes and stuff. That was actually a part of our world. That there was a huge number of lakes and stuff. Of course, there weren't any rivers, so there were only lakes and ocean. And this part of the world, as you can see, this is generated also differently. Here the rivers started to appear. And when we were walking around here, there were no villages whatsoever. And I believe villages also appeared when this actually was introduced into the Minecraft code. So yeah, we encountered villages, you know, computer-generated villages inside of the Minecraft world, which was quite interesting. And yeah, if you zoom in, you can actually see a lot of walkways, a lot of roads. Some seem to disappear, but they go underneath or inside of a hill or something. But a lot of stuff is interconnected, either through a road or through a railway or through transport hubs. But yeah, you can see a lot of roads going to places. And actually, this is actually quite interesting. This is a couple of villages that we found, and that we made roads. And also a lot of signs and a lot of directional signs. Dates, we also put dates and signs up. And this is actually a walkway. I think this is Theonville. This little town is called Theonville. And this is actually a walkway around the bank of one of the rivers, and it goes towards I believe one of the Sandyvilles. This is one of the Sandyvilles, and then it goes on with the train track. And it just goes on and on and on and on. I believe one of these offshoots to let me see. There should be a walkway. Here. This is one of the stations that offshoots north, and you come to huge trees, and that's actually the integral trees that I built. And there's actually a walkway towards the cities, and actually this is one of the villages that actually the first trees were built upon, and these are actually also trees. And it was quite a barren landscape, so I took a lot of seedlings with me and planted a lot of trees and stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure if this will actually generate in 3D. No, I guess the world is so large, the code for this only generates 3D, the 3D landscape so far. But yeah, you can see that what I was building here, if you zoom out and you look where spawn is, this actually is the and this was actually after years and years and years and years. So yeah, a huge world. There's a huge number of things to show you guys, and I hope you like it. And please thumbs up if you do. And if you want to see a specific place or a specific thing, let me know and I'll see if I can make a video on it. But this was actually to show you what the world, what our world looks like, and yeah, it's really nice to see it in 3D. I have a sort of overview, an isometric view, and yeah, this really has quite a warm place in my heart. I met some great friends on this, and actually this game actually made me come to replay, and yeah, it's just I mean it was an enhanced chat room. It was an explorer thing. I love sandbox games like this. There's another transport hub, and then I'm going to quit. There's another transport hub. This is actually the spawn point, and there's another transport hub that Andy built, where you can actually travel to other worlds and survival worlds and stuff, and other bits around this world. And yeah, that's in another video. I've shown it, but yeah, I'm bound to show more. And yeah, it's really a fun place to be for us. And it's really weird if a world, if a place, if a virtual place becomes that old, and you've spent so much time in it, not 6 years, you know, in a row, dipping in and out, you know, every once in a while. But yeah, it becomes somewhat of a real place, and actually quite a little time ago. To start with, we had a prototype of the VR of the Oculus Rift, and I was able to stand in the Minecraft world, looking around in this Minecraft world, looking around through that Oculus Rift, and Minecraft appeared to, all these blocks, they appeared to be 3 feet high, about 1 meter high, and the perspective was in such a way that it actually appeared real. Of course, the resolution of the Oculus Rift VR prototype was not as good as the others, the newer ones, but yeah, I would love to see VR and Minecraft, and would love to be able to explore our world, which we had such a long time to explore that and build some more with VR, because it really makes even a bigger difference. Well, it is possible to explore Minecraft through in 3D with those green and blue or green and red 3D glasses, but anaglyph glasses. But yeah, they give you a headache after a while. So yeah, okay, Mark signing off, and I'll be back with another video soon.